Hello and welcome. I'm John from the LG Training Center. I have some more do-it-yourself tips. Today it's about detergent usage. Sometimes the old adage is if a little works, a lot more is going to be working better, but this isn't always the case with your washer. Remember, the modern wash machines now are energy efficient. We have guidelines set by the federal government that requires us to use less water. And they're more energy efficient this way, and sometimes using more detergent can cause more problems than it's worth. Some of the problems that you can run into is too much either detergent or fabric softener will create a scum that collects in all the components like your basket and your outer tub, and these things will actually give something for mold and mildew and bacteria to start to grow with. And one of the telltale signs of that's the problem is when you open this up, if you have a musty smell in here, or you notice black spots on here, mold and mildew starting to grow, or you even notice that on your clothing, that's one indication that this can be caused by excessive amount of detergents being used. A little bit later, I'll give you some ways that we could actually prevent these from happening. But let's start at the source first. With energy saving washers, we're using less water than we ever did, and detergents now are becoming more and more concentrated. At one time you can only get one concentration of detergent. Now you can get 2 times, you can get 4 times, and so on. The idea behind that is let's make the container smaller so we can get more things on the retailer shelf. So we're making these detergents concentrated, and this is a case where we don't need as much detergent as we used to use. As a rule of thumb for me, what I found out is I only use about 2 tablespoons of detergent. I find that's more than enough. In some cases, if my clothing isn't very dirty, I'll even go with 1 tablespoon and my clothes come out perfectly fine. But let's give you an idea of how much 2 tablespoons of detergent is inside here. So get a close-up of this. And you actually see there's not very much there. This is a concentrated detergent. Doesn't require a lot, and it's going to save you money in the long run too, and it will save you service on the washer, because another thing that we can run into with using too much detergent, it puts a strain on this washing machine. It can prevent it from draining properly. It can also wear out your seals and bearings and cause a major problem later that's very expensive to correct. Another indication that you're oversudsing is if you look at this glass and during the wash cycle, all you see is white inside here, this would give you a good indication that you have way too much detergent being used in here. This can also create leaks. It can get out of your vents, and sometimes it can get onto the floor and cause floor damage. So we want to be careful that we're not using too much detergent. Another thing is the use of fabric softener. Fabric softener is also a thick concentrated liquid that needs to be diluted. Only a small amount is needed. Typically we say maybe about a teaspoonful of fabric softener is usually adequate, but the fabric softener needs to be diluted. Rule of thumb is you go 1 to 1. So it's a 50% concentration of your fabric softener and 50% water. That'll loosen that up. It'll prevent problems from clogging up in your dispensers and stuff. Now, what if you run across those issues where you have that mold and mildew problem or you have the odors in there? We have in a lot of our wash machines, we have what we call a tub clean cycle. Some of the tub clean cycles will actually monitor the amount of cycles that you're running through that wash machine and give you an indication on your display panel when you turn it on that it's time for a tub clean. All the information for that is in your owner's manual. If you look up the page that the tub clean feature is in, it'll tell you what chemicals to put inside here, how to turn on the clean cycle and run it through the clean cycle. And we recommend at least once a month going through the clean cycle. If you have a big family and you're using it a lot more than normal people, you might have to go with a tub clean for a little more frequently, maybe other week or so. If you don't have a tub clean feature, you can always add, don't add clothes, you can add some chemicals into your dispensers, and you can run it through that cycle with maybe some bleach or some detergent and let it run through without any clothes in there. See if we can break down that scum, see if we can get that odor. There's also commercial products, some tablets that are available to assist in cleaning, and these are available at your retailers. The last thing I will mention is sometimes the maintenance on the glass and on your door gaskets. A good example is sometimes we're doing a load of towels. We have some dirty towels. We're going to throw them in the washer to wash anyhow. What we can do is we can use one of those dirty towels to clean the front of this glass up. We can also wipe some of that moisture down over here. I would also maybe pull this gasket back here a little bit, see if there's any hairs or lint that's accumulated in there. And let's go ahead and wipe that area down. These will keep this nice and clean and keep the odors from actually giving you a problem later. And then you can just simply take that dirty towel and you can throw it in the washer and you can launder it with the rest of your clothes. So that's a simple little tip I found to help you. Another thing that I will mention is these things are becoming very popular, and these are these little pods. Do not put the pods in the dispensers. What you're going to do with the pods is you're going to actually put them in the bottom of the tub and then add your clothes to them. One pod is sufficient. This is a very concentrated form of detergent, and we don't want to oversuds it by putting multiple pods inside here. Remember, these are dangerous, so keep them away from kids. Make sure that they don't have access to that. Okay? So that'll kind of conclude the little tips I have you about detergent usage. I want to thank you for being an LG customer, and I hope you have a great day.